Hey, I'm Matt Wegner with FinancialExcellence.net. I'm doing another book review, as I like to do from time to time. I like to tell you about the books that I like to read. The average millionaire reads at least one nonfiction book every month. And my goal is to not only do that, but to read more than that. But I want to share with you some of my favorite books that have helped me down my financial journey and my journey in life in general. So one of my favorite books is... It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and it's a great book in terms of making you think twice about what you do with your money. We spend most of our time in our early lives going to school and learning lots of information, but not learning anything about money. And our parents never really teach us anything about money either. So this book kind of talks about what do we learn, and there are a lot of myths associated with what we haven't learned. For instance, there's a myth that you have to have a high income to become wealthy. You don't have to, and there are ways to become wealthy, and it doesn't take much to start. You just got to start. And the idea that you have to go to school and get a high education to become wealthy and all that kind of stuff is not necessarily true. The book talks about that. And I kind of agree with it. Yes, an education is important, and Mr. Kiyosaki talks about that in the book. It is important, but it's not a requirement to become wealthy. So I definitely encourage you to go out there and read the book. It challenges your way of thinking in terms of what is an asset. You know, we talk about our homes being an asset and our cars and stuff like that incorporated in your net worth, but it kind of highlights the truth that an asset's really only an asset if it's making you money. So you can tie up a lot of wealth and a lot of income in purchasing assets that are not creating income for you. Rather, you want to start looking at things in a light of what can you do with that money? How can you make that money work for you instead of you having to work for your money? It's a great concept. It's a great idea. If you're even thinking about being self-employed, or if you've got kind of that little bit of an inkling that maybe that's for you, this is a great book, and I think it'll get you started and really get the wheels turning in your head to start thinking in a whole new perspective. And that's what I love. I love to challenge the status quo. I love challenging the way things are just because it's always been that way, because successful people think outside the box. They find different ways to be successful, and they never, what they do to be successful is never in accordance with what the general population is doing. So start thinking outside the box. Pick up a copy of Rich Dad, Poor Dad on our website at our online bookstore. You can do that, or you can just go down to the library and pick up a copy there. Definitely recommend it. My name is Matt Wegner, encouraging you to read more so that you can start experiencing living in financial excellence.